Do progressives need to do more than vote to turn America around? Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Progressive Media, listening to AM 950 in Minneapolis. Nancy, you're on the air.
Thanks, Tom. The truth is that we know there's something wrong with this country, isn't there? Truth be told, if we're looking for the guilty, we only need to look in the mirror. And that when we know that our voting system is already being rigged against us, voting isn't going to be enough. We need to occupy D.C. We need to go there with 3 million, 10 million people. We need to follow Hong Kong's example. People are protesting all over the planet because they're fed up with these autocratic people.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nancy, but I didn't sign up to be one of the people who was going to create the kind of America where Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush line us into wars and Dick Cheney and Donald Trump were president. And I'm not willing to accept that blame, and I'm guessing neither are most of my fellow citizens. I don't think, I mean, this really concerns me. It's like people who say, oh, you know, global warming is a terrible thing, and therefore, how dare you drive a car or get on an airplane? I mean, at a certain point, you've got to point out it's not the individual who is causing these problems. It is the system. This is systemic, and the system has been hijacked by billionaires and fossil fuel companies and all these individual interests, and they are trying to protect their own power and their own wealth and, frankly, keep deep six to their own crimes. And so, you know, yes, we all need to get out in the streets. We all need to get active, but it is not our fault, respectfully.
We're part of the system, and we may have been terrified to say anything.
I don't think most people are actually part of the system, Nancy. They have most Americans have no power outside of their vote, and in many states their vote doesn't simply. In fact, in the majority of states, their vote basically doesn't count because the state is so swung one direction or the other that you could vote or not vote, and it doesn't matter. And people get that. And that's why I think we need to have a national vote for president, for example. It would probably get more people out to vote. But, I'm not going to debate it with you, or any farther anyway. I get your point, and I think that we're saying the same thing. We're just using different words. Nick in Santa Barbara. Hey, Nick, what's on your mind today?
Hey, Tom. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I came from Eastern Europe like 20-some years ago, and kind of longer I stay here, I start finding some similarity in the rural area in this country compared to the rural area in Bulgaria where I came from. So in Bulgaria, in the rural area, they vote like 90% for the communists. And over here, I see the same similarity with the Republicans. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, what you're saying is basically the people who are poorer or less well-educated are voting with the authoritarian party and leader. Is that correct?
Yeah, but how we can help them to see themselves and compare themselves and see if they like it or not. That's what I've been thinking lately.
Yeah, it's a real tough one, Nick, because when you've got government policies that prevent people from getting solidly into the middle class, that keep them in poverty, which we've had in the United States since Reagan, with Reaganism, with trickle-down economics. Now, 2 years ago, officially, fewer than 50% of Americans are in the middle class. It was over 2/3 when Reagan came into office. Same thing in Bulgaria, I'm sure, in the rural areas. Those people are never going to lift themselves out of poverty. So once you've got people in poverty, all you have to do is point at a third group and say, they're the ones who are making you poor. Hitler said, oh, it's the Jews who are making you poor. They're taking all the money with the banks and stuff. In Bulgaria, they would probably be saying it's the opposition political party. I don't know, you tell me. Here, it's Trump saying, oh, it's brown people from Mexico. They're taking your jobs. And, 50 years ago when it was Nixon, he was saying, and Reagan was saying, oh, it's black people taking your jobs, speaking to the white middle class that was, that votes in large numbers. Who were the scapegoats in Bulgaria, Nick?
Well, it's basically the West is going to destroy and cut all the Social Security and all this stuff. So the people were trying to preserve what the only kind of a comfortable thing for them, the health care, the pensions. But, you know, they disappeared anyway. So I think
exactly, my point.
Yeah, it seems to me people were too naive and want things to happen because they just vote. No, you need to do something about it. You can't just vote for Trump and wait him to fix abortion or whatever. It's your issue, you know. You do it on your own. You can't just do something like a legit to make someone else do your job.